So originally to become a teacher, my mom was like, you should do this. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna listen to my mom. I'm gonna figure something else out. But I started coaching when I was about 20 years old, and it was so rewarding. I love sports, that was so great, but being around kids and just the atmosphere on a campus, I was like, man, I could do this for a living. And coached till I was 22, went through the credential program at Sac State, and everything kind of lined up. And I fell in love with it very early on. Not just the content and teaching, but being around kids, and you really enjoy what you do. I'll probably mess this quote up, but it's, if you enjoy what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. And it's not really, I don't really feel like I'm going to work, I'm just doing what I love. There's some days they're tough, but then you turn around and you're like, man, this is still a really great gig. So my mom is part of that answer, but I love being around kids.
One of the things that led me to really wanting to go into teaching was my family background. I had a lot of strong male influences in my life. My father, both my grandfathers and uncles on both sides. And I noticed at an early age that a lot of my friends did not have that in their lives. There wasn't a lot of teachers that I felt that could relate to a lot of African American males. And I felt that that was some part of me, felt like there was a duty. And around 15 or so, I decided that I really wanted to be somebody on campus that African American males could relate to and be a positive role model in their lives, like the positive role models that I had in mind.
I got the opportunity to be a learning assistant. So one of my friends had emailed me and she's like, hey, I know you're looking for a little extra cash. Here's something you can do working in the biology classroom. And so it worked. They had us working closely with another professor in the classroom, and I really liked it. I liked, having the opportunity to get to know some of the students, having the opportunity to see how he creates study guides. Once a week we had pedagogy sessions, so we talk about different strategies to use in the classroom. We talked a little bit about different teaching philosophers, and so it really exposed me to the world of teaching. And because I never intended on being a teacher, but that event is what led me to teaching. And I remember going to my professor, my mentor, and saying, I kind of want to do teaching. I'm thinking that this might be a career that I want to pursue. And she was like, before you do that, college kids are a whole different ballpark than high school kids, middle school kids, elementary school kids, whatever age school you want to teach. So she recommended that I do an after-school program. And so I found an after-school program with middle school and high school kids, and I loved it. I loved working with the kids. I loved, doing different activities, getting to know them on a personal level, and I decided, yep, teaching, this is what I want to do. This is something I want to pursue, and so that's how I got into it.
I always knew I wanted to be a teacher, from the time I was in the 2nd grade, but I not stumbled to get there, but I got my undergrad. I got a job after working as instructional assistant for kids with severe disabilities, and I was loving what I was doing, but I was just kind of stuck there. And then finally I realized, okay, I can do the job that the teachers are doing, but I'm not getting paid to do that. I'm paid to be their assistant. So I kind of just made the decision to go back and get my credential, and I went back and forth for a while and came and met with Dr. Cho on campus about what would be a good path to go with what I wanted, and she pointed out that they have the dual credential program here, and so that kind of was like, that's what I want, that's where I'm going.
I always wanted to be a teacher. When I was going to school, I started doing an art docent program and thought I would do it out of high school, but then there were a lot of layoffs, so I went to community college instead. I took a test and it said I could do teaching or I could do event planning, so I decided to start with event planning. After a little while, I decided I needed a change, and we were in the middle of the teacher shortage, so I went to Sac State's credential program and haven't looked back.